Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead reading for the 24th through 30th. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. If this is about you and another person, this could resonate with yours or their moon, rising, or Venus sign. Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands and the Moon card. So 8, 9. Interesting, right? Okay, so is that your intuition coming in full force, or is that things finally moving forward that you've been waiting for a long time? Or is this having things confirmed and something out of the blue finally confirms what you've long suspected, or you've been waiting for something? I said that before. Okay. All right, Libra. It just mean your intuition's on fire this week. Faith, well, there's that. That could be Taurus. That's a Hierophant. Page of Cups. 10 of Swords. 5 of Cups. Ace of Swords. Death, that could be Scorpio. And 10 of Cups. So we've got 2 10s here. All right. So you're kind of weathering a storm this week, or not, but it feels like the worst is over. Hold on, sorry. My glasses fell. But you're kind of, this is like the after effects of something, of weathering a storm. Perhaps someone has reached out, you've been waiting to hear about something, and that someone has reached out to clarify things, and the worst is over, and you can begin to move forward. All right, what's this page? Work might be a distraction, might be a welcome distraction, so that's good. This Page of Cups. Emperor, that could be Aries. It's his 7 of Cups. Queen of Wands, that could be Aries also. Okay, so this is your intuition, like this week is off the charts. And I think that's a bit unnerving or unsettling, because it's usually there's a balance for you and you're all about balance. And this week it's like you're feeling kind of conflicted, because you're feeling like you should do one thing, but another thing makes sense to do. So you're kind of like, yeah, you're having, you've got a lot of information you're trying to make sense of this week. Let's put it that way. What's this Ace of Swords for Libra? This Ace of Swords. The Devil, that could be Capricorn. 10 of Swords, this jumped. 6 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. This 10 of Swords about. 3 of Pentacles. Oopsie. Okay, so I feel like also too with work, I think there was a lot of work up until this point, and now you're able to at least decide what you want to do, if you want to lessen your schedule or take that vacation. But for the Libras I'm reading for, you've been quite busy, and this week is kind of offering a reprieve from that. So it's going to be your choice whether you want to walk away from the job altogether, or just take like a mini vacation, a break, something, because you've definitely earned it. Perhaps you're in a quandary about what to do about the job place, because it feels like the worst of it's over, or the busy season is over, because we all know what we've been through. But I don't know if you even want to do that job after all that's taken place. So it might be deciding, you don't know what you want to do for work. You don't know if you want to walk away from that and start your own thing, or start applying, or there might be some indecision. Now that you finally got that break from work, there might be some indecision for you. What's this Death card? In terms of a relationship or social, which this does appear to be about, this week that you're, what feels like you're going to take off from work, or at least you're, lessen your shifts considerably. It's giving you some insight on your relationship as well. What's this Death card about? The World. What's this Cups about? We've got some changes going on here. No kidding. Yeah, we've got a new normal for you, Libra. Yeah. So we've got a new normal. There's I think with what's going on the macro level for all of us has offered a lot of people a reset. They just see things differently after what we've kind of all endured, seeing things differently. For the Libras that I'm reading for, this is you welcoming that change and wanting to make the most of it, and wanting to move forward with balance and clarity about what has gone on thus far. And because of that, you're going to be making a lot of decisions. Across the board, everybody is. It's like, this is a new normal. Let's see how this shakes out. To a large degree, some of it's out of your control, but it doesn't seem to bother you. You're like, I don't care. I know what I want, and I'll let that take care of itself. So in terms of the global stuff and how it affects you, I feel like you're walking away from a job, or you're considerably lessening your shifts, and you might even want to start to do something new, like in a different field. Do your own thing perhaps, but you might still hang on to that just for the sake of financial security, until you can until something that you want to do is secured. But you've had a change of heart or a change of mind where your job's concerned, and you're going to start looking for new for your job. In terms of like social or relationship, this feels like, I don't know, it feels like you're thinking about things in hindsight, and that it's for the amount that you've been working, and then the relationship, you're kind of wanting to take a breather. So unless this can kind of be a new normal for you and your person, you're not interested in that anymore either. So if this person wants to transition with you, okay. But if not, it's almost like you're stepping into a new phase, and all of this stuff, it's like it can just stay over here because you're just wanting nothing but good things for the future, and which is completely understandable and reasonable, and it's within your power to create that. So this is you firmly looking forward. I don't know if your person is going to transition with you, or if they even want to. This feels like it's an internal or solo week for you, figuring things out and making decisions, and kind of being overwhelmed with having to make decisions. I think it's easy to make decisions. I think it might be a bit difficult for the Libras I'm reading for to do that with the intuitive component, just because that's so on fire this week as opposed to a balance that you normally work with. You're trying to figure out what you should do moving forward. What's this? And I think this is kind of the waiting game, because it doesn't show you making any decisions, just showing that you're thinking about what you need to do and doing it solo. There's not much interest in bringing a romantic situation current. Like, it's just the weirdest shift. It feels like you're stepping into this new normal, and you're not really worried about anybody but yourself. And I think you've seen what's been going on is like this kind of like secret reset for yourself, and you're really interested in figuring out how that's going to work for you now, like what you want to do, not what you have to do. The old rules don't apply. This is you really wanting to decide what you want, like breaking old habits. What else for as far as thinking? Okay, so there's breaking old habits. Could that be romantic? Right. But as far as just the way you used to do things or used to think, you're just like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that anymore. What's for Libra? Wow. Okay. So Ace of Cups and, ooh, gracious. Ace of Cups and Eight of Cups. Okay, so a definite aha moment or awareness about what's going on, and you choosing you walking towards you and walking away from other things that don't support you. This newfound security, this newfound esteem, love for yourself, choices, value, all of that. This is you walking away from things that don't support the new you. So this is a week of transition, and you kind of being on fire intuitively. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to synchronous information like signs or numbers. It all counts, and particularly highlighted this week. What else for Libra? A lot of people are getting yay, prosperity. A lot of people are getting a break this week as far as work. Like they're either taking time off, or they're walking away from a really crazy hectic schedule, or they've just they've asked for less shifts, but there's just a lull this week for work, and it's much appreciated just because for everybody I've been reading for, there's been that just stress about work, about money. Is there going to be enough shifts, having to just make ends meet, or just overworking, or just not knowing what to do? All of that, it looks like that abates because you make some decisions about that. It feels like you want to go off and do your own thing, honestly. It feels like you're just wanting to create anew by yourself, which is not a bad idea. We've got prosperity here, so hey, go for it. If you've got some ideas to do some solo work or just like a small project with a few, that's indicated here that it would be a very good week to start. Okay, all right. As far as, again, relationship, it kind of feels like you're taking that easy also, that you're not wanting to deal with it. You're taking a break from dating or taking a break from relationships this week. Nah. Okay, so this is it of Swords in limbo and Strength reverse. So that could be Leo. So this is the worst of it's over, and it's kind of you recalibrating and what you want to do moving forward. Haven't quite figured that out yet. It also is indicated that with the Strength reverse, that this is very intuition heavy instead of very logic heavy. That there's not really that foundation. You're kind of flying by the seat of your pants, which is fine. I mean, who doesn't sometimes? But it's not that, well, you need to move. You don't need to do anything. It's just indicating, it's just showing that this might not be a very grounded week for you, because there's going to be a lot of decisions, a lot of choices, and a lot of new normals. You're essentially walking away from that which has been familiar for quite some time. Job and relationship, everything's in flux for you. So this is like where you take a week off and you figure things out. Money's not in deficit. You're fine. But you're stepping into a new phase and starting a new normal by your design. You just have to figure out what that design is. That's what it's showing here. So this is a week of you out with the old, in with the new, but what's the new? Well, let me figure it out. And your intuition's like on fire this week. Okay. All right. So just know that you might not feel very grounded. You're kind of in limbo. The worst of something is over, but then it's settled. There's peace in the land, so to speak, but it's also an active creation stage for you. Like you're going to start actively creating. You just don't know what yet. So it's kind of, but I think you're going to be glad for the peace in the land, like the now what phase, because the worst is over. You've just gone through a really busy cycle, and now what? Which is kind of a really cool place to be. So great creation energy, great beginner mind, especially with your intuition on fire. This is a good week for that. Thinking about what you want to do. All right. I hope this was helpful, Libra. I hope to see you in the next reading. I thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your service if you're a first responder or essential worker, and you have yourself a good week, a good quiet thinking week. Okay. All right. You take care.